Over the years, I've eaten a lot of fish from both fresh and salt water, and hands down, one of my favorite freshwater fish has to be the yellow perch. And anybody who's done a perch trip knows that when you get on them, you can end up with a big pile of fish, and that means a lot of work on the back end. So I'm going to show you how we go through a mess of perch using an electric fillet knife to get the fillets off the fish and also get the rib cage out, and then using a smaller knife like this to get the pin bones out, so when everybody's having a delicious perch fry, you're not going to be having any bones. So let's get started. Beautiful yellow perch here. Now with the Bubba Blades electric fillet knife, there's 4 blade choices. I'm starting with the smallest and most flexible blade they've got. This is ideal for perch and other panfish. So first thing we got to do is make sure our safety is off. The knife is hot, and let's get started. We're just going to start with an incision right behind the gill plate here, just in front of the pec, and we'll go all the way down until we hit the spine. Here we go. Boom, you can see that. We made that cut. Now we're just going to turn, follow the knife, turn it 90 degrees, and we'll follow that spine all the way down the length of the fish. And the big thing here is you just want to make sure you don't cut through the backbone. If you do that, you're going to damage the fillet on the other side. But just ripping right through there, it's pretty easy to follow down. I'll reverse this, and we'll get going on the next side. So flop the fish over and repeat the same process. Here we go. Come down, cut down. Sometimes it's just got to get that belly meat cut. Fall right down to the back. There we go. Fall it right down the edge of the fish. Got all of that out of there. We'll get rid of the guts. And now if you're going through a mess of fish, what I like to do is I'll just set these fillets off to the side like this, and I'll keep going through that same step where I'll just keep cutting the sides off of the fish, and then lastly I'll come back, I'll take the ribs out, and then I would do a final step where I take the pin bones out. But for this example, I'll just show you how I get the rib cage out, followed by how you take the pin bones out. So with the rib cage, you're just going to come in here, you're going to follow right along the top of it, and you can see that the ribs, they come out on the fish, but they go down on the fillet. So you just basically want to scoop those out with the fillet knife. So it's kind of a scooping action. And the pin bones that we'll cut out later are right in here, right beneath. So you're going to basically come straight down. You're going to cut through those pin bones, and then you're going to want to follow that right back up. See, I'm turning the knife up to avoid losing I want to keep as much meat as I can. So we're just kind of coming up. You see that? How that works? I'm doing it slow just for the process. Now once that's done, this fillet knife is real grippy, so what you can do is you can just push the rest of the ribs out. You don't actually need to cut through that. Once you've cut the pin bones and released it from the flesh, you can just push those right out. And now lastly, we're going to take the hide off. So I'll just put my index finger down on the tail. I'll start the knife. And the whole key here is you want to be close to the edge of the table here. You don't want to be having it away from you, because you can see the handle's large and you don't want to be flexing the knife, because you're going to lose a little on one side or the other. So have this close to the edge where you can run just perfectly perpendicular to the cutting surface, and we'll just rip right down the edge of it. So you can see there, that's the other great thing about an electric knife like that, there's no waste left on the hide. So now, if we want, we'll get the pin bones out, and these pin bones, they run right along through here, basically the lateral line. Some people call this zippering. Pin bones, epi bones is what you'll hear it called, but basically you really want to get these out because they aren't the most pleasurable to eat. Some people don't really care, but I like making sure that if I'm having guests over or anybody that might not like little bones in their fish, it's as tasty as can be. So you can just cut that little piece out right there, zip it off, and you've got a fillet that is absolutely boneless. Now a lot of times when we cook fish anyway, we'll just finish cutting this right down the lateral line there, and we'll have 2 different fillets that we can either cut up into smaller chunks or just cook like that. Those perch are going to be delicious. I look forward to having people over every year to do a big perch fry. Now, the straight edge knife is something, and of course every fisherman needs to have, and it does a lot of the day in, day out work. However, if you're cutting big fish or you're going through a lot of fish like perch, an electric fillet knife like this is something that every sportsman needs in their arsenal.